Good afternoon. Today is the 10th of November. This is part 19 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2024 NEC Classic Motor Show. I do apologise in advance if I get things wrong, if I fall over, if I get interrupted by announcements or cheerful waves. People walking in front of a camera. I'm afraid just the way that it goes on this channel. So here we are at the Citroën Car Club stand, and we've got a very, very nice Citroën SM. This is a 71, this car. I think they did sell in right-hand drive, but I've not seen too many of them, if any at all. So there's a park position on the suspension. Got this Maserati 6-cylinder engine in it, and then lots of mechanical bits from the DS. Striking looking car, but unfortunately the development of this car and other things caused the company to go bankrupt in 1974, which was a real shame actually. More sort of practical was this good old Citroën Visa, which I think was based on the same chassis as the Peugeot 104. Certainly it had some of the suitcase engines and one of the craziest interiors you're ever likely to see in your entire life. That's just the way Citroën did things back in the day. That is a 1979. Let's go this way, viewers. We'll come back to that section in a bit. Citroën C3 Pluriel from 2009. This one's the manual. You could also, of course, get the Senso drive. Is this a classic car now, viewers? Well, I mean, I suppose it is. It's 15 years old now, this particular car. This is a late one, a 2009. They finished in 2010. I won't say too much about that, viewers. I'm not sure my opinion on the Pluriel would be exactly complimentary, but never mind. How about a CX instead? This one is, I think, a late sort of phase one. It's a 1984 car. Maybe registered a bit after that because we're wearing a C plate. I would like to have a go at one of these actually some point, viewers. They are extraordinary things. I've driven a DS, that was earlier this year, and that was extraordinary in itself as well. I think this will probably be a little bit easier, a little bit more conventional to drive perhaps, one of these. Love that sort of shape there, there's a concave rear screen. Much earlier one here, we've got a dicky seat in the back as well. This is a 1938 traction avant. It's a slough-built coupe, light 15. Excellent. Revolutionary car when they came out in 1934. Front-wheel drive, and probably one of the more advanced cars at the time. This one is a 1936, a Citroën 12. Again, right-hand drive. Trying to fall over those bumpers here. That is a little bit scary, you know. They're absolute, perfect trip hazards. So you can actually get through. You didn't trip over the bumper viewers, that's good. Another right-hand drive. Yeah, the factory was in Slough, was on the same estate was where they make Mars bars and things like that. This one, those left-hand drive. Do we have an information sheet? No, we don't, sadly. That's in Switzerland, though. And another right-hand drive one. They stopped making cars factory about 1965 from memory. Still quite a sort of advanced shape in by sort of late 40s. These were Lomaxes here. Or are these other ones? There are various kit cars based on the 2CV. 1990. Oh, it's for sale. £5,000. Call 07981562659. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. Key plate, this one obviously the registration number on that one there relates to the year of the chassis it's based on rather than the build into a Lomax. And then we've got a couple of others here. These look sort of meaner and faster. That's got a BMW engine in it. 1980 Burton. They're built in 2018. If that makes sense. Right, we'll have a look at this DS. Yeah. Loads of things to look at in a DS in terms of the suspension and all sorts of things. This one is a 68, it's one of the later ones with the swivelling headlamps. It's got the older dash, but as well as the older door handles. The door handles were changed about, let's get this right, about 1971, 72. Still incredibly advanced looking car. So, the Peugeot stand. 1991 205 GTI Grief. Now, we never got the Grief officially in this country, apart from this one that Peugeot UK imported for themselves. Very, very nice colour. Oh, that looks great, doesn't it? Why did they decide not to sell these over here? Never mind. KV, like a lot of the old Peugeot press cars, registered in Coventry, just down the road. And then a 205 Le Mans. Did we get these over here? No. Look at the headlamp washers and wooden steering wheel, reflective boot panel and things. Heated seats. Excellent. And then a 205 GTI Classic. I didn't think I'd seen one of these before, but that's because I haven't. It was made for the Australian market to celebrate the end of GTI sales there in 1994. I'm not sure we got the GTIs late in 1994 in this country, viewers, but I could be wrong. That again looks brilliant, actually. Both the Grief model and the Classic model look utterly fantastic. This has got this sort of much later panel at the back. You can see the Le Mans got that reflector panel, whereas the Grief has the sort of earlier rear panel. Talking of early stuff, this is a 1914 Peugeot. Very, very old car indeed. Someone's actually rebuilt that. And then a 1974 404 pickup, but they are quite rare over here actually, the 404s. I don't see too many of them. I'd like to try one, I think, at some point in my life. So we've got more Peugeots here, the Peugeot Sport stand. Much earlier GTI here. It's an early dash one or something. It's a 1990. Okay, phase 1.75. And the main facelift of these cars occurred just after this one was made, actually, when you get the sort of clear indicators and things, and they made some changes at the back and things like that. But this is a sort of crossover one, as it sort of says there. And then a 206 GTI 180. These were nowhere near as successful as the 205s. They're not as valuable at all. They're a much heavier car. 206 is fine. I drove one. I think it was last year I drove one, and they're okay actually. They're one of the most produced cars in the world actually. 206, very, very popular. And a nice 106 Rally. We've seen one of these already. Yes, our Shambolic shuffle so far. That is in immaculate condition. It's beautiful. It's a 1995, it's a phase 1. Not many colours available for these. I think it was 4. And then a car that I've seen many times before because I know a chap who owns this. This is a 2001 406 V6 Coupe manual. He owns several of these. The one I drove in 2021 was a different colour. It was a former press fleet car in like a sort of dark blue colour, which is a bit more to my personal taste. But Justin very much liked this one, of course, as well. So, we've got the Alpine Owners Club stand, celebrating 40 years of the Alpine GTA, custom built in 2019 using an 87 shell. Then one of the modern A110s, a 24 registration. This is the A110 Le Mans model. I think I prefer personally though this older one here. This 85 Alpine V6 Turbo Europa Cup with 280 horsepower. Be nice and quick, won't it, viewers? There is back of the modern Alpine there. When they were actually marketed in this country, these GTAs, they weren't called an Alpine, they were just called a Renault GTA because there were some disputes with Peugeot Talbot as to who owned the name Alpine or Alpine, so they just called it Renault GTA. This is a 1989 unrestored car. Very, very handsome looking thing. GTA Turbo Le Mans in 1990. Despite the fact Jeremy Clarkson quite enjoyed these, they never really sold a lot over here, really anywhere at all. It's a shame, so 80s at the back of this. Another GTA V6. It's 1986, so quite an early one. The first customer car in Britain. Something different here, the Oxford University's Motorsport Foundation. Got a 1964 Mark II MG midget here. And then a 71 MG midget with a Nissan engine. And then a Mark III midget. This is a 69. It's very similar to the one that I drove 3 years ago, which was a 68. That was a bit cramped, viewers, but not the easiest cars to get in and out of if you are in any way sizable as a person. Very late MG midget, this one, 79 to 80 on a V. The very last, actually. Heavily modified. Then we have a 1965 Riley 1.5 rally car. Superb. MG BGTI 78 midget with fuel injection, I would imagine. It's called a GTI. We've got sort of later seats, although they've been reupholstered. I drove a late MGB, an 81 registered car, actually, summer of last year. That was good fun. And we've got a Riley 1300 Kestrel, which is in rather nicer condition than the one I've featured on the channel recently. This is a very, very late one. They actually sold them all the way up to an H-Reg, sort of late 69. If this person who buys Mr. Child's Riley Kestrel get it anywhere like this, it would be amazing. Yeah, we don't have the wooden door caps on this because actually they weren't standard. They were for the Vanden model. So next is the Škoda Owners Club. Mark 1's superb here, it's been modified. Started off life as a 2.8 V6 Elegant. So I've driven one of these actually a long time ago now. I think it was in 2021. Also 2.8 V6, modified as that way. Then we have got a Rapid. Apparently says his on the back. Engine in the back, boot at the front. This is a 1991, which is one of the absolute last of them, 1991. I didn't think actually they'd still make them at that stage. Wow. Then we've got the Super Estelle here. Bev's toy, please look at my sexy rear end. We'll have a look at that in a moment. 1983. She got an age-rated plate on it as well, which is good. Let's have a look then. Ooh. It's a transparent rear end with some reflectors. Those like Ferrari rear lights or something. Interesting. 1980 to 81 coupe. Obviously the predecessor to the Rapid. Could you actually get an automatic one of these? It's a 110A. And then this looks like, could be wrong, it's like 1000 MB, which is the first car ever with this very famous OHV Škoda engine. It was produced in about 1964. Wonderful. We're doing well today. We're doing very, very well indeed with a lot of this stuff. Then we've got Boston Car Club. This is Boston Classic Car Club. Mini 1275 GT. Excellent there. 1968 Morris Minor based Austin badge van. And something very, very old here. 1952 Singer Roadster. It's much more old-fashioned than that, isn't it? But it's a 52. And then an absolutely delightful 1986 Peugeot 309 GL. It's probably got the Simca Plas engine, doesn't it? This was at Festival Exceptional. And in contrast to the car that I drove, it's also the concourse section. Both were in the concourse section. This is a much earlier car. It's got the early dash in it, which is a bit more prone to cracking later on, apparently. We've got some more Rileys here. Riley 1.5, 1960, twin SUs, the Mark II model. A bit faster. I think the original ones had like 45 horsepower or something, which is an awful lot for a 1.5 engine. Then we've got nice RM here. Elegant cars. Of course, we saw old standard these earlier on, didn't we? Then a free Riley Elf. Please ask for details. I should perhaps ask for them myself, but if I came home with this, I'm not sure my lady wife would appreciate it, so maybe we won't ask for details. 6768 Mark III, you can tell by the door straight away. And then this thing, which one of the oldest cars of its entire building. No idea exactly how old it is though. Oh, right, 1100 Club, excellent. Wow. That's a rare thing. Look at this. Austin 1100 Jensen conversion. I have never seen one of these before. Probably because it's completely unique. I mean, you're going to attract some attention driving around in that, aren't you? Tango. It's a Morris 1300 Traveller. I think this would be Mark III possibly. Oh, there we go. 7273, yeah, be Mark III. It's that glazed red though. Then we've got a much earlier one. This is a 67, it's a Mark I, also a Morris Traveller version. Got the fake wood on the side of it though. So we've got the larger brother to the ADO16 here, Land Crab. I drove one of these actually 2 years ago. It was a very early Mark II 1800. This is a Mark I 1965. 60th anniversary of Land Crab. I quite enjoyed it, but I preferred the 1100 the owner also had, which is a 64 Austin version. This is the later ones. This is a Mark II, which is an 800S. from about 1971-72. VS had a bit more power than the standard 1800. Also got the prototype here. This is the 63 prototype 531 NOF, which is made before the rest of them. Survives, and not just survives, it's in very, very nice condition indeed. Then we've got 67 Austin 1800. Very, very spacious cars for the kind of exterior dimensions. Very spacious indeed. And we got a Wolseley. This is before the 6 came out, so this will be just the 1800 as well. 1885, I think they were called. Yeah, 1885 automatic Mark II. About 71. I was talking about the Austin Big 7 earlier today, and we just found one. This is the Big 7, so we can get round here. There we are. You can see the Big 7's got 4 doors. This is a 1939, so it'll be one of the very last of them. We've got called them Taurus, these ones, and a 7 Ruby. So that one is an Opel 38 and a Pearl. Then we've got a much earlier one here. It's a 25 Chummy. It's funny having the headlamps up there rather than on the wings. All viewers, Vanden Plas Owners Club. What a delightful place to spend time. One of my favourite cars ever here, the Rover 213 Vanden Plas. I really fancy one of these myself, viewers, but I'm not sure we'll ever get to own one. This is an 85. I was at 216, sorry, I do apologize. 216 this one. I thought it was earlier than that. 216 Vanden Plas. This is a manual. Perfect specification. Wood door cappings and leather and everything. Then another one. This is a Princess 4 litre R, 1955. Of course, this one has a delightful beige leather interior with wood. Viewers, this is just like overloaded here, you know, award-winning thing. Someone I know has offered me a chance to have a go in a 3 litre version of this. Unfortunately, I can't find insurance for it, which is a real shame because I was looking forward to driving it, but I've sold that at some other point. So, Vanden Plas 1500. I've driven one of these. Drove it earlier this year. Picnic tables displaying champagne glasses, and 76 this one. Some manual. Actually quite nice to drive these, considering it's a car for the mid-70s. Whether or not you like the front end, I personally do, but it's a matter of taste, isn't it? And then we've got the earlier version here, the ADO16 version. Again, with a beige leather interior and wood and picnic tables. I'd love to put a Riley Kestrel dash in one for a rev counter. There we go. This is a 1300 from 1969. Yes, please, viewers. Right, let's have a look at some Austin Counties cars. That's Alan Hass, apparently the chap who drove this car around the world in 21 days. This is an Austin A40 Sports, built by Jensen, who built a sort of larger car called the Interceptor that looked sort of similar to this. And then we've got a 53 Austin Somerset. Lots of accessories for going to the Arctic and things. 7 capital in 7 days. A 1949 Austin 16. So someone has taken a huge amount of care to make this look at absolute best. That is perfect. Then Some A30 and A35s here. What were the state budget called? I'm just called Countryman. Okay, that makes sense. This is an A35 Countryman. It's a 1961, but it was made in 1959. I imagine what happened is just the end of production, nobody really wanted them, which is a shame. But yeah, there we go. Then this is the four-door. Four-doors were always, I don't know, less beloved for some reason back in the day than the two-doors. They do look a little bit sort of more awkward than the sort of two-door shape, but that's what it is, I don't know. Running in, please pass. That is the A35 because of the larger rear window. You see, here's the A30. You can see that is different. This one is also a four-door. It's a very, very interesting colour. I don't think I've seen one in this colour before. It's got the 803 Sedgemoor Green 803 cc engine, and then this is the van version. I think it's an A35, but I could be wrong. In fact, let's have a look at the grille of the A30 because they are different. Let's see if we can tell. Yeah, the grille's completely different, isn't it? So that is an A35. So we have the Wartburg Trabant IFA Club. There's a little Trabi 83-84 plate, of course not actually sold over here. Look at all these marks that represent tons of them. Fabulous. It's the let's get this right. The 601S model. And here is a Wartburg 353. It's a 1987. It'll still be, in this case, I think a two-stroke. The four-stroke model didn't arrive a little bit later. They're sort of Volkswagen-derived engines. C20 DDR, indeed. Another Trabant, this is a P601S Universal. It's not cardboard, yes, you get that joke, you'll understand. Well, yesterday was the 35th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Fabulous. I don't know what this stand is, we've got some little sorts of tiny cars for Young Retro Motor Club, that makes sense. 1994 Renault Twingo. Those wheels are off an earlier Renault. Then a Mark II Panda. Panda's a prostate cancer. We've got some friends up here. Little birthday hat. 1992 this one is. Similar to the one that I drove actually earlier this year. You can still pick these up for not a lot of money actually, the Mark II Pandas. And then a Kia Pride 93. I have actually driven one of these. I drove it all the way back in 2020. Mr. Curry, a friend of mine, owns several of these, or has owned them. I think he's still got one or two of them. Based on the old Mazda 121, but sold in this country all the way up to the year 2000. So we've got a stand here for the Dad Cars channel. I have met a gentleman who runs this. I met him in an SMT event a while ago. I didn't realise they'd be having such a big stand here. The world of YouTube is very slowly kind of creeping into the classic motor show here. When I started first filming the event in 2021, there weren't nearly as many stands dedicated to YouTube channels as there are now. And here's a Renault Avantime. I think I saw this on the JM Cars channel. Let's look at some 2CV, shall we? So this one is from the mid-70s, 74, 75 on an N. It's the just for 2CV6 model. So get this right position, there we go. And this one here is it's a Belgian post van from 1974. built actually in Belgium. Yeah, I remember ones with this front end. And then a Méhari, which were popular in places like Spain, I think. 67, 68 on an F. I'm not sure we got them over here actually. Been a very, very late 2CV Portuguese built one from 89 to 90. And next to it we've got another Méhari. It's a 1970 car from Belgium. Ma très rare Citroën Méhari. Stop doing that, viewers. I do have a French degree, but nevertheless. Don't know what stand this is. It's interesting. Got a 30s Riley here. And then a Minor painted in the same colour as the Mile of Millions. It's a 57 saloon conversion. Maybe we'll walk around the Riley and we'll have a look at the front of the Tourer. That's a lot of work to make it look like that, isn't it? That's extraordinary.
Think that.
And then we've got an NAMX5 as well. Now, a lot of these ladies have bought Morris Minors, and this is Peggy from the Passenger Seat podcast, I do believe. This one's undergoing sort of restoration. So we've got Morris Minor young members next to the lady drivers. Probably coincide as well, don't they? These will be owned by ladies too. 69 to 70, Trafalgar Blue, Minor 2-door, one of the sort of most common specifications you'd like to find one of these. I mean, they're not very expensive. You can pick one of those up for about £2,000 to £3,000. Percy 1964 Minor 2-door. It's one of the last ones with original steering wheel actually in it. That's just been replaced. And this is an earlier Minor 1000. This will be made from the late 50s. You can tell by things like this smaller rear lights and things like that. Yeah, we've actually got original steering wheel in there. It's deleted in October 64, replaced with the sort of 2-spoke one we see in this car here. Right, viewers, next stand. Actually, I've just noticed we've run over a bit, so we better end this part here. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you in the next part for some more incorrect information.